In May of 1998, the earth beneath the Thar Desert violently fractured. India had just successfully tested a series of nuclear weapons at Pokhran, completely blindsiding Western intelligence agencies and their multi-billion-dollar network of spy satellites. Yet the mastermind behind this massive demonstration of power was later pulled aside and frisked for explosives, not once, but twice, by airport security at JFK in New York. That man was Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. He would go on to serve as India's 11th president, but long before that, he was the hidden architect of the nation's strategic autonomy. His trajectory proves a vital point. Achieving technological supremacy on the world stage doesn't require endless capital or pre-existing infrastructure. It requires the relentless drive of what he called an ignited mind. Let's step back to the 1960s. Post-independence India was starved of resources. The nation lacked basic technological infrastructure and was effectively locked out of advanced global engineering by strict international embargoes. In the narrow, dusty streets of Rameshwaram, a young Kalam woke up hours before sunrise, working as a paperboy just to help support his family. But on his daily routes, he would watch the seagulls over the ocean. Observing the precise mechanics of their wings in flight sparked an absolute obsession with aerodynamics. This childhood fascination with lift and flight drove him to specialize in aeronautical engineering, the technical framework he would eventually use to design the nation's first homegrown missiles and satellite launch vehicles. Excellence, however, requires iteration. In his early engineering days, Kalam attempted to build a hovercraft named Nandi from scratch, using rudimentary tools, discarded parts, and a highly skeptical workforce. Against all odds, the machine worked. He even flew the defense minister, Krishna Menon, in the prototype. But almost immediately after, the bureaucracy abruptly canceled the entire project. Instead of letting that rejection break him, Kalam adopted a strict philosophy. Failure is never final. It is simply raw data for the next iteration. He carried this mindset into his work under Vikram Sarabhai on India's first satellite launch vehicle, the SLV-3. In 1979, the team watched their first major launch spiral out of control and crash into the Bay of Bengal. The media backlash was fierce, but the project director, Satish Dhawan, stepped up to the podium and absorbed all the public criticism himself. A year later, when the next SLV launch succeeded, Dhawan stayed in the background and pushed Kalam to the microphone to take the credit. Those crucibles forged Kalam's ultimate rule of management. A true leader acts as a shield, absorbing the devastating blows of failure while projecting their team entirely into the light of success. The successful launch of the Agni missile demonstrated that India could produce sophisticated military hardware for a fraction of the cost of imports, making the technology embargoes effectively irrelevant. Kalam did not simply build a stockpile of weapons. He engineered a localized, self-reliant innovation network that no foreign power could embargo. In 2002, Kalam transitioned from the highly classified labs of defense research to the sprawling red sand courtyards of Rashtrapati Bhavan, taking office as the 11th president of India. He immediately disrupted the rigid political protocols of the office. He would regularly bypass his security details to sit directly on the stairs and answer questions from visiting schoolchildren. His approach to public policy was remarkably tech-forward. At one point, he took to Yahoo Answers to directly crowdsource anti-terrorism strategies from the global public, receiving tens of thousands of detailed responses. He also pushed a vision to completely sever the presidential estate from the traditional power grid, drawing up plans to run Rashtrapati Bhavan entirely on solar energy. Kalam operated the presidency as an open-source laboratory for national development, prioritizing accessibility and technological education over traditional, secluded power. Over a decade, he spoke face-to-face with an estimated 11 million young people. In his famous address at IIT Madras, he warned students that the world around them is working day and night to make them exactly like everybody else. His core directive was clear: you have to fight the hardest battle imaginable and never stop fighting until you arrive at a unique you. This personal directive formed the bedrock of his national blueprint, Vision 2020. He knew that a truly developed nation is built by empowered, creative individuals, not by weapons. Excellence is a self-directed, lifelong process. The materials to build the future are already in your head. Now it's time to ignite them. Subscribe to The Explainer for more.